Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Replay 5656 here, and I welcome you all back to another episode of Katawa Shoujo. Now, when we last left off, apparently we had actually romanced Emi instead of Hanako. But you know, hey, that's pretty cool. You know, it's pretty cool that we actually romanced Emi. I mean, again, like I said in my last video, I'm actually gonna go to the main menu if I'm not gonna start this real quick. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, like I said in my last video, you know, I didn't really have much of a preference if it were Emi or Hanako or any other character, because they're all good characters. They're all really great characters. It's not like there's one character that I hate more than the others. You know, it'd be interesting with any one of them. Hell, even Misha. You know, it'd be interesting if I actually romanced Misha. But anyways, you know. And for those of you that have me on Snapchat, that have seen my snaps, I talked about this before, but it's just like, it's insane how the choices that you make in the beginning have an impact upon who you end up romancing. It makes sense, but it doesn't make sense at the same time, because it's like, why would whether I played war defensively or offensively, or what was it called? It was war, right? Was that it? That's what we were playing, war, in the beginning. I think like the first or second act or something. With over at the student council room. Yeah, we were playing war, and I think I chose defensively instead of offensively. And it's like, I don't know why that would influence anything anyway, but I don't know. Yeah, and also, like I said on Snapchat, if you guys didn't already know, my mom sort of cleaned here. You know, hopefully you can see that. I don't know. Maybe I don't have OBS tabbed in right now. I don't have multiple screens either. So yeah, my mom cleaned. You know, left all this clutter here. So yeah, everything's a little bit more compact, so to say. You know, to say the least. Kind of gets me a little bit claustrophobic, but it's okay. Claustrophobia claustrophobia goes more with people. I don't know if that's objects, if objects count, but anyways, it just kind of is a pain in the ass though, because if I move any sort of way, then I crash into the TV that I have down here. But anyways, this aside from the point, let's get on with this before I lose any more time explaining everything. So when we last left off, we had just finished making out with Emi, and now we're just in class doing stuff. Okay, my head's in a spin all through Muto's class. I'm gonna have dinner with Emi, who wants to be my girlfriend, no less. A date. And then she kissed me. That kiss, I keep going back to it, playing it over and over in my mind again and again. Everything about that moment felt so right. My mind drifts off, lost in thoughts of Emi. Masturbating to Emi. Nakai? Hello? It seems like I've drifted a bit too far off. Huh? What? Egad, you've contracted some kind of amnesia. Someone get the nurse. The class chuckles at Muto's antics. Sorry, sir. Won't happen again and all that, right? Exactly. Muto brightens considerably. Well, lovely to hear. I'd hate to have my star pupil slacking off after all. I've been doing well, but I hardly qualify as a star pupil, I think. And the noise with my pipes is starting, so I'm just gonna pause real quick. Okay, so wow, that was actually shockingly short. Usually it takes like a half hour for that pipe noise to fucking stop. But anyways, okay, let's continue onward. I'm fairly certain that this class is the sort that everyone does well in. It's just memorizing formulas. True to my word, I managed to pay attention for the rest of the class. Nakai, may I have a word with you? I wonder if I'm in trouble for earlier. Sure. Am I in trouble? Muto looks genuinely confused for a moment. Beg your pardon? He tilts his head to one side and thinks for a moment. Oh, that! Oh, no, you're not in any sort of trouble. There's just a question I want to ask you. What's that? Nothing terrible. I was just wondering what your plans for after graduation are. Are you going to university? Yeah, I guess. I can't really see a reason not to go. Given any thought to what you'll study? Not really, no. I figure I'll come up with something when I get there. Come on, Hisao, why are you lying? You said you wanted to be pirates. Like, come on. Muto laughs. Taking things as they come, huh? I'd argue against it, but that's how I did things when I went to university. Well, not really. I knew I'd go into science, I just wasn't sure which one. Ended up with physics, but could just as well have gone for astronomy or what have you. Actually, I did go for chemistry first, but there were all sorts of things. Muto trails off and frowns slightly. It takes a minute for him to recover his train of thought, and I wait patiently for him to continue. So, anyway, I did a lot of physics as well, but I had an interest in that, but I wasn't sure if it was for me. So I went back to chemistry, and here we are. Yes? He smiles at me enthusiastically, as if waiting for me to confirm that yes, here is where we... What? Wait, what? Here is where we are. What? 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 Okay. Continuing along. Somehow I get the feeling that, I get the feeling that Muto had a plan for this conversation, but I'll be damned if I can figure it out. I'm sorry, I'm not following you. Muto frowns and rubs his chin a bit, looking perplexed. He then snaps his fingers as if he's remembered what the point of all this was. Right, yes, you! Me? Yes, you should look into studying one of the sciences. You're fantastic at it. Unless you'd rather just go into math. Muto makes a sour face. Not a big fan of straight math. I always liked the experiments more than the proofs. You're saying I should study science at university? Muto seems thrown off balance by my question. Well, sort of. You could also join the science club. Trouble is, there's not actually a science club. But there could be! You could even be the charter member! A founding father! Of course, you'd need to find other members. Well, only if you wanted to. We could just start it up with the two of us. And, I could give you things to read, and we could talk about them. And I could help you get ready for university and such as well. Wait! But Muto rummages around in his briefcase and tosses me a book. Read that. If it's interesting, then we can talk about it. A Brief History of Time? I don't know if I actually want to read this, but Muto seems pretty excited about it. What's it about? Time, space-time, black holes and such. And it's not that dense, just to see if that sort of thing's interesting for you, you understand. Hang around after class, and we can either discuss it, or I can show you how to make explosives in the lab. He waves a hand in my quizzical expression. Joking, sorry. Still, I've kept you here long enough for now. Think about science as a career path, Nakai. I think you'd enjoy it. Okay, I will. Thank you for the book. I leave the classroom and look up at the clock. Quite a chunk of time to kill until Emmy's out of practice. Guess I'll give this book a look. I should probably shower as well. Showering before a date's only proper, right? I head back to the dorms. Oh, I can only imagine how Kenji's gonna fucking react. Oh, no. Oh, I can only imagine. Oh, fuck. Okay, anyway. I wonder where I'm supposed to meet Emmy, anyway. She said after practice, but she didn't say where I should find her. She's gonna come into your room and suck on yo dick! Anyways. I guess I can just swing by the track. That's probably best anyway. If she needs a shower, I can just wait for her in her room or something. Or in the hallway, I guess. That would be better as well. I take a quick shower, remembering to take my medication once I hop out. Now, for a look at this book. What? Okay, I thought we were about to get into the next act already. Which is about to surprise me, because then I'd have to cut the video short once again. But anyway. I awake with a start. Shit! What time is it? A glance at the clock reveals that I've been asleep for nearly an hour. Oh, thank goodness. Emmy's practice should be finishing up soon. I throw on some casual clothes and head for the track. Somehow I get the feeling we won't be doing anything fancy for dinner. Emmy doesn't strike me as a fancy sort of person. Still, I suppose there's a lot I have yet to know about Emmy. Despite our newfound closeness, I still feel like I don't know her as well as I should. Ah, well, I have lots of time to fix that. To be honest, I'm looking forward to getting to know her more. I'm so caught up in my own thoughts that I hardly register that I'm already at the track. Emmy is nowhere to be found. I don't even see any signs of the track team. This could be embarrassing. I turn to head towards the girls' dormitory when I hear a shout. Hey, Hisao! I turn around to see Emmy making a beeline for me with a gym bag slung over her shoulder. She's changed into some decidedly more casual clothing, a pair of shorts, and an olive green top. Her running blades have been replaced by more realistic looking legs that probably wouldn't fool anyone. Emmy doesn't seem to care about that, a fact which makes me smile. Hey, you came! I mean, I figured you would, but still. I suddenly find myself wrapped in a rather affectionate hug, and it proves to be impossible for me to keep what must be the world's largest grin off my face. Well, of course I came! I'd be crazy not to, right? Emmy ponders for a moment. You know, that's true. I mean, I'm pretty amazing after all. I shrug in response. I certainly think so. It's an offhand remark, which is why I'm surprised to see that it comes oh my god, Okay, it's an offhand remark, which is why I'm surprised to see that it seems to have caught Emmy by surprise. She blushes and smiles warmly at me before planting a kiss on my lips. Now it's my turn to be surprised. Emmy steps back, resting her weight on her back heel, looking pleased with herself. My brain fumbles for an appropriate response. I should compliment you more often. Emmy laughs and gives me a playful shove. Jerk! I throw an arm around Emmy's shoulders and am pleased when she immediately leans into me as if it were the most natural thing in the world. So, where to? I'm not actually sure. Where do people go on dates around here anyway? That's a damn good question. I've got no idea. Why don't we just head down to the Aura Mart and grab something portable? Emmy's face brightens at this idea. A picnic! I think you're onto something, Hisao. Emmy snakes her arm around my waist, and we begin to head for the front gate. I'm entirely unsure of what I'm meant to do in this situation, but at least Emmy seems to be equally clueless. Despite the relaxing feeling of being with Emmy, I still can't help feeling a little tense. What if I do something wrong? I'd hate to make an ass out of myself. The trips to the Aura Mart is accompanied by Emmy's chatter about how practice went. I keep quiet for the most part, merely enjoying the warmth of being around Emmy. We get a few odd looks from passerby, but I don't mind. We wind up buying some bread and instant noodles, realizing too late that we cannot actually cook the latter in the park. Oh well, I'll make it for lunch or something. That'll work. The park is located after a brief loss of direction that I blame entirely on Emmy. She, of course, blames me. We find a spot beneath a tree and sit down. I lean back against the trunk. Emmy sits across from me. I guess we should have brought a blanket or something to sit on, huh? Emmy shrugs. I don't mind. Neither do I. Emmy tosses me a package of bread and we dig in. Curry bread. Interesting. I guess I wasn't really paying attention to what I grabbed in the store. I've actually never tried curry bread. I wonder if it's any good. Hey, Hisao! You look like your bread's a little spicy. What? I shake my head, trying in vain to keep an image of manliness. Nah, it's hardly spicy at all. I see. That must be why your face has gotten so red. Yes, exactly. The lack of spice has, gotten my blood up. Because of the disappointment. Emmy laughs and swallows the last of her bread. Well, if you can't handle it, I'll be glad to take it off your hands. Hey, just because you wolfed down yours so quickly doesn't mean I'm just going to give you mine. Emmy mock pouts, causing me to nearly choke on my bread with laughter. Aw, come on, Hisao. Aren't you supposed to be concerned with making sure I've got enough to eat now? We're dating, you know. Though, Emmy looks troubled all of a sudden. I can't say I feel any different. What do you mean by that? What makes this a date? It's just what we would have done anyway, really. But this should really feel different because before we had lunch, we were friends, and now we're a level above friends. You sound like Rin. Laughter escapes and Emmy grins. Well, she might have put the thought into my mind. We've talked about that sort of thing before. Really? About me? Not really, just stuff, really. Rin thinks that the change of a label from friend to girlfriend seems arbitrary most of the time. Reminds me of a friend I know. Like, there's no difference between the two. I can think of at least one, you know? You don't tend to kiss your friends quite as much. For the second time today, Emmy blushes slightly and giggles. I suppose you're right. Exactly, I'm always right about things like this. Emmy rolls her eyes and chuckles. Guess you're pretty smart, huh? I nod in agreement. Yep. Even Muto thinks so. He thinks I should go into some scientific study after graduation. Emmy raises an eyebrow. Oh, really? Yeah, I'm thinking I might actually just do that. Really, the more I consider the idea, the more it appeals to me. I make a mental note to look into it a little more closely. So, what are you thinking of doing after graduation? Dude, remember, pirates, hello? Still planning on running? Emmy shrugs, seeming almost a bit hesitant. I don't know. If I'm good enough and I can find a team, I guess. You mean you aren't sure? I haven't really thought about it, to be honest. Really? You probably should, you know? Graduation isn't that far off. Emmy fidgets a little nervously. Yeah, well, it's far enough, right? Besides, I've got other things to think about. There's a mischievous flash behind Emmy's eyes, and I suddenly find myself gloriously pinned against a tree. Like, making sure this is a real date, right? I mean, if we don't kiss, then it's not a date at all, right? I suppose... Strawberries and curry. Not the best combination, but I don't think I mind. Emmy sits back on my legs and grins again. There! Science would approve, right? I have the oddest mental image of Muto nodding seriously and making a mark on some checklist. What the fuck? I can't help laughing at the idea. Well, I'll admit, this is the first time I've ever witnessed a kiss being met with laughter. Should I feel offended? No, I'm sure science approves. Emmy beams at me, and I find it increasingly difficult to keep my brain functioning properly. Oh, good. It is at this point that I notice that Emmy has stolen the remainder of my curry bread while I was otherwise occupied with images of teachers wielding clipboards. Shit, I'm out of water. Guess I'm gonna fucking break out the Pepsi then. Fuck it. Hey! Emmy tries to look innocent, but considering she's just crammed the last bits of my bread into her mouth, does not appear to be working. Well, there's always something else you could cram into her mouth, but, you know, I don't know. Thief! A shrug from my companion is all I get in response. You used your feminine wiles on me! I wasn't that hungry anyway, but I still felt that the point needed to be made. Emmy seems confused by the phrase feminine wiles, or wilies? I don't know. But the understanding dawns on her features after a moment's thought. Wasn't anything of the sort. You were laughing! Feminine wiles don't involve laughing! I guess I can't argue with this. That doesn't change your thievery. Emmy laughs on my injured tone and gives me a playful shove. Fine, you can have the instant noodles. Are you kidding? That stuff's terrible! If anything, you should definitely eat it as punishment. Another laugh from the girl sitting on my legs, both of which have fallen asleep by now. Ah, warm. Yuck. What the? I twitch one leg to try to wake it up, which has the unintended effect of unbalancing Emmy, who falls to the side with a startled eep. I'm sorry, what? The animation on that, I gotta rewind that a little bit. Wait. The animation on is amazing. Okay. Whoops. Sorry about that. Legs fell asleep on me. Emmy remains on the ground, giggling. I stand up a little shakily, feeling the nerves in my legs return to normal. My eyes wander over the scenery before fixing on the figure of Emmy, who has yet to get up. Her hair is splayed out around her head, her arms are spread, and laughter is bubbling up through her mouth. Are you sure that's laughter? Everything about Emmy seems condensed into this one image. Her energy, her spirit, her childish giggling. The urge to lay down on the grass with her rises swiftly from the back of my mind to the forefront of my thoughts, and indeed I am convinced that I would love nothing more than to do just that. Unfortunately, the sun is set, and it's probably time for us to get back to the dormitories. While Emmy may be happy to stay out here all night, I don't think I have that ability. Besides, homework soon beckons. It wouldn't make sense to start thinking about things like university and then slack off, would it? I extend a hand to Emmy to help her up. We should probably get going. Emmy makes a sour face. You're right. She grabs my proffered hand, and I pull her to her feet and into a tight hug. This time, I'm the one who kisses her, unable to resist having Emmy against me. Seems a shame to leave, you know? Yeah, it does. But if we don't get back to school soon, we'll probably get into trouble. Emmy pokes me in the ribs playfully. And you need to do your homework, I'm sure. Sadly, you're absolutely right. I throw my arm around her shoulders, and we make the trek back to the school, accompanied by occasional bouts of laughter as her conversation jumps from subject to subject. Everything from running to school to the peculiar way that one of the cafeteria workers smells. All too soon, we find ourselves outside of the girls' dormitory building. Well, I guess I'll be going then. I guess so, huh? Emmy grins at me again with that mischievous look. Are you going to be able to survive without me? I laugh. I'm sure I'll manage. How terrible! Aren't you supposed to say something like, I'll be counting the seconds you're away? Nah, I don't think so. Emmy pulls me down into a quick goodbye kiss and steps back, looking unexpectedly shy. Thanks for dinner. I really had fun. Honestly, I did. So did I. I think we shall have to do it again sometime. Emmy laughs at my deadpan delivery and nods. See you bright and early tomorrow morning, right? You gotta run off that bread after all. Of course, despite the fact you ate most of it. Yes, despite that. See you later, Hisao. As Emmy turns to head inside, I notice something weird. Something so weird that I'm surprised I didn't notice it before. Or notice it earlier. Kenji's stalking me. He's taking photos. He's gonna kill me. Anyway, she's limping slightly, favoring the left leg. Hey, Emmy! Is your leg okay? Emmy looks confused, or at least fakes confusion. What are you talking about? Your right leg. You're limping. There's the briefest flash of concern on Emmy's face. Either she didn't want me to know, or she didn't think I'd notice, or I prefer to think she just didn't realize it. Oh, that. She shrugs casually. Must have gotten knocked a little out of alignment during the picnic. No idea what would have caused that, of course. I think back to being pinned under the tree. You should have told me! We could have stopped and fixed it, you know? Emmy waves a hand airily. Nah, it's not that big of a deal. Don't worry about it, okay, Hisao? It's fine. Why do I get the feeling that she's convincing herself as well as me? Fuck! I hate these decisions! Ugh! Press Emmy. Press her. Fuck it. Are you absolutely sure? You don't want to go ahead and adjust it just before heading up the stairs? You could get hurt if you don't, right? I said it was fine, Hisao. Seriously, don't worry about it. I've got some experience in these matters after all. Yeah, I suppose so. Emmy grins reassuringly. Honestly, Hisao, I appreciate the concern, but I really am okay. Now, really, I need to get going. Your attempts to keep me around are doomed to fail. Of course. Just prolonging the goodbye, I suppose. Another grin lights up Emmy's face. Good night, Hisao. Good night. As she limps inside, I find myself hoping she's okay, despite her assurances that she's fine. I think I can call this a successful first date. Hell, any day that ends with Emmy pinning me under a tree to kiss me can't be bad, can it? I head back to my room, Okay, there we go. I head back to my room, mentally thank the gods that Kenji doesn't ambush me in the hallway, and get started on my homework. Kenji's in your room, you dumb fuck. No, not really, don't worry. The morning is far too early for my taste. It doesn't help that I had trouble sleeping last night. There were simply too many things to think about. My mind refused to slow down. Yeah, his mind, but then also his dick refused to go down because, he was of course fapping to Emmy. Come on, like who wouldn't? Instead, I replayed the rooftop, the park, and everything else over and over in my mind. There's a small part of my mind that is still paranoid that this has all been some kind of joke. That I'll meet up with Emmy at the track and she'll act like nothing happened yesterday. Pushing these thoughts to the back of my mind, I throw on my running clothes and open the door. Emmy's waiting for me with her usual smile. You're late. Or at least, you're not early today. Are you tired or something? I find myself ruefully rubbing the back of my head. Something like that, yeah. Lots to think about and all that. Emmy giggles at my mild understatement. Yeah, I didn't sleep that well either. I was actually glad you weren't early, because I wasn't early either. I wonder if the same thing kept us awake. The image of her weeping face passes through my mind. What kept you up? Emmy's expression falters, but she quickly notices my curiosity and forces a smile. Nothing important. She's obviously not telling me something. The question is, should I press the issue? Something's clearly been bothering her for a while. I want to help her, but would it just come off as me being nosy? She's got to know I care about her, though. Are you sure? If something's bothering you, I'm here to help you sort it out. Emmy laughs then, but it's not her usual laugh. There's an edge to it that almost seems bitter. Sort it out? I'm not sure it can be sorted out, Hisao. An almost grim smile crosses her lips. It's like a smile of resignation. I don't think you could help me anyway. That hurts. I don't want to say that it hurts to her, but it does. Doesn't she realize I want to be there for her when things go wrong? Well, I won't push you on the matter. But I'm here for you if you decide later on that you'd like to talk about it. It might help. I can see the debate I can see the debate raging behind Emmy's eyes. It seems like she wants to tell me, but she's not sure whether or not she can. Hey, forget about it for now, okay? We've got running to do. The mention of running, something that she can handle, brings Emmy back to her usual self. Right. Hurry up and stretch out, Hisao. We've got to get moving. She takes off like a shot, far quicker than I'm used to. Still, I try to keep pace with her, recklessly testing my limits. It gives me a feeling of freedom, like my heart is no longer important. I find myself wanting to laugh, filled with the feeling of moving beyond what I once called my boundaries. The nurse's warnings to not overdo things echo in my mind, and I disregard them. This feeling I have, this willingness to risk a heart attack for something so trivial as a morning run, feels out of character for me. But is it? Or rather, should it be? I've got a weak heart, sure. It'll never be capable of the kind of speed and endurance Emmy's capable of. Though I probably wouldn't be able to get that good even if I had a healthy heart. As we round the final bend, I feel my legs screaming in protest, but for the first time, I ignore them. I accelerate to finish at a sprint, nearly catching up to Emmy. That was never going to happen, of course. Still, I feel surprisingly good. Oh sure, my legs feel like they're about to catch fire, but I'm having trouble staying upright. But there's been a shift of some sort lately. And it's all thanks to the girl grinning at the finish line, waiting for me. That felt a little faster than usual. My comment is met with a grin and a shrug. Can't have you think I was going too soft on you, now can I? Can't have you think I was going to go soft on you, now can I? There we go. Okay. Alright. Okay, I thought it was another grammar mistake, but no, it's just my eyes. Good. But you managed to handle it just fine. Well, I couldn't have done it without you. Still feeling the high from the run and moved by a surge of gratitude, I seize Emmy in a hug. Okay, so that means that my time's up. Okay, let's actually finish this scene before I end it. Thanks. Really, I'm not just saying that. I'm in your debt. Emmy seems flustered by my words, squirming uncomfortably. Don't be silly, Hisao. Someone had to haul you out of here, didn't they? And it's not like you're not doing anything for me, right? Right, okay. I needed a running partner, remember? I shake my head, still pointedly not letting go of Emmy, who stops squirming and merely looks up at me with a quickly deepening blush that almost seems out of character. No, that's not true. You wanted a running partner, but you didn't need one. If I hadn't shown up the day after the festival, you would still run, right? But it doesn't work the other way around. I only managed to make it out a few times before the festival, and without you, I probably wouldn't have made it out at all after that. Emmy smiles at me and prods my chest with one finger. Yeah, it's true, I think, because, like, if you don't make a choice in who you want to romance, or if you, like, make all the bad decisions and end up not romancing anyone, you get Kenji. And Kenji kills you. I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding. I said this in two episodes ago. Kenji actually kills you. You are pretty lazy, Hisao. Hey, I was only giving you a compliment. Oh, you're welcome, I guess. I'll pay you back somehow. Oh, well... That's not necessary, you know. I mean, I kinda like you, Hisao. And being able to run with you in the mornings isn't exactly a bad deal for me either, so... For someone who gets so much praise, she seems unused to gratitude. I can't think of anything else to say, so we fall silent. I become aware of Emmy's breathing, of the dampness of her clothing, and of the scent of her. Coming off of anyone else, it would stink. Coming off of Emmy, it fits her in a way nothing else could. Her skin is cool, slick with sweat, and a breeze causes goosebumps to rise. Almost without thinking about it, I lean down and meet Emmy's mouth, which has already moved to meet my own. Her lips are soft, and she hums happily as we kiss, sending vibrations from her mouth to mine. There's a startling rightness to everything about this moment. We fit one another perfectly. The kiss ends, and I finally let my arms drop back down to my sides. Emmy is smiling warmly at me and giggles again. Come on, Hisao, we'd better go see the nurse. Then it happens. As she turns to begin walking, she gives out a tiny yelp and stumbles forward. Emmy! I leap to steady her and notice with some concern that she's favoring the same leg as last night. Her leg. Emmy seems panicked and pushes away from me. It's fine! My expression must seem hurt, because she hastens to apologize. Sorry! Didn't mean to push you like that. I was just... She stumbles for something to say. It's nothing, really. Hey, don't worry about it. She's so flustered, I decided to shrug the whole thing off. But there's a cold feeling in the pit of my stomach now that won't go away. I tried to step in and help her, and she pushed me away. Smiling, I shoved those thoughts to the back of my mind and concentrate on Emmy. I just don't want you getting hurt, that's all. You don't have to worry about me, honest. I'm fine. Yes, you say that, but I don't believe you. Why won't you tell me that's something wrong? Blah, whatever. It's like she gets offended by my trying to help. What am I supposed to make of that? Okay, so we got to the next scene. Alright, I'm actually going to save it right here before getting any further. Yes, I'm going to save. Okay, going to go to the main menu. And that will be where I end off in this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like in the video. Be sure to subscribe for more weekly content. Also, be sure to follow me on Twitter and on Snapchat. All the links will be in the description down below, so be sure to check them out. Oh, also, one thing that I should mention. One thing that I really have to mention before I end off this video. A really close friend of mine. Well, I mean... recently met acquaintance, but you know, she's become a closer friend. Okay, yeah, okay. She's actually in a group, and they're planning on making this. I believe it's 3D animation called what was it? I believe it's Guardians of Fate: the Battle of the Four Armies. I think that's the name of it. I apologize if I don't know the exact name of it. Yeah, I was actually right. Holy shit. Okay, I actually remember that. Guardians of Fate, Battle of the Four Armies. It's like a long movie series. It's gonna be 3 episodes, and the planned release date is gonna be around 2018 or 2019. The name of the group that she's in is Ice Pyro Studios, and I'll leave in the description to their Facebook page down below, so you guys can definitely leave a like, like their page, give them some love, give them some hype, be a patron. You can email the head honcho, the person that's spearheading it, and I'm just waving my arms randomly, just tossing shit out of my ass. Anyways, but. Yeah, I'll leave a link to their Facebook page down below. So also be sure to check that out above everything else, above all else. Be sure to check them out. Be sure to leave a like and all that good stuff. Anyways, I'm gonna replay 5656, and I'll see you on the next video. Later.